You're listening to the Erith Town Dockers Debate.
Well, good evening, dear listener, for this latest edition of the Dockers Debate, where we are here for the penultimate, I think it's penultimate, unless they had one more and we don't know, fixture between Erith Town FC and Tooting Mitcham FC. This is the first game that Erith Town are playing on the grass pitch, which is a very, very nice and flat, nice and green, I have to say. Full credit to the team behind the scenes who have been making sure this pitch is watered. I'm looking out now from the main stand, sitting right in the middle, and the red and black boards all around the pitch look absolutely fantastic. So again, well done to those who have took their time to paint those. I think there'll be one or two we may know. And we're about 10 minutes away from kick-off. The VU camera's being set up. We've got a few people here this evening. It's quite nice. It's a very lovely warm evening here in Bayliss Avenue, the Stanmore Stadium, and there's a few people now who have been to the bar. They're grabbing their we'll say appetisers, to be polite, because we don't want to presume, dear listener, that those appletised coloured drinks or anything stronger. But no, it should be an exciting game today, in all seriousness. It's the Skeffel Premier Division team of Erith Town, who have had a reasonably successful pre-season. They've had a few wins, a couple of draws, and also the recent defeat by Sittingbourne FC, which was on the last show, and the Community Day fixture. Their opposition, Tooting Mitcham, last season was in one of the Isthmian divisions, so there's one of those, the Premier Divisions, and South Central, South East, etc. And unfortunately, they were relegated back down to the combined counties level, so it's the same step as Erith Town, just a slightly different region, a little bit more south than southeast, if you will. Similar to the same division as to what Beckenham Town recently were promoted from, for listeners who listened over the last couple of years to our predecessor, Acton Grassroots. The teams are literally about to take to the field in the next 5-10 minutes. As I said, there are a few people here in attendance who are going to watch the game. They'll be seeing a lot of fresh legs being played today. There'll be a lot of players who we have seen and had featured on this podcast, and we just need to see how today's game goes. As we've said with these pre-season fixtures so far, it's all about the game time, getting the rust out the legs, trying a few different pieces and see how we get on. And just hopefully we'll see some goals and some entertaining football. Along with the balls being painted, I have to say that the goals look absolutely brilliant. So fair play to the team who have put those lovely white posts up. They look freshly painted as well. And also the red and black net behind the goal, which is again a lovely feature that you don't see at many non-league grounds. They just tend to have like the white net or just something very generic. But the fact that the net reflects the same strip as the home team just shows the investment and the work that Erith Town want to bring to the area. We've said before on this pod, we've said before at other games, Erith Town are a fantastic community club. One of the reasons why this podcast now exists, because the club want to reach out to the wider community a bit more. And they're investing a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of facilities to really, really make this a beacon for the local area and people who want to be a part of it. Enough from me until the teams take to the field. Up the Dockers. Well, I know we say that pre-season is always brings out things that are slightly odd. I think this is coming with my referee head on, dear listener, but it's really strange. The Erith Town team was out first, slowly followed by the Tooting Mitcham team, and then the refs. Maybe the refs wanted to change it up a bit, to really soak the applause of those in attendance tonight. As I've been talking, there have been more people arriving. We've got a few behind the goal. We've got a good few along by me now. The main stand is starting to fill up quite nicely. So yeah, it's a pretty nice, friendly little atmosphere we've got so far. The pre-match handshakes are taking place now. Tooting and Mitcham are in their all-purple strip as the away team with the orange goalkeeper. Very sensible. You don't see purple and orange that much, do you? If there is somewhere else, do let me know. Fiorentina, possibly. You never know. But I think that's the closest we're going to get to Fiorentina here tonight. But yeah, again, you might see some lovely football. We are again with Erith Town, and they're in their red and black this game instead of their yellow and black that there was for the Community Day fixture. JJ at the back there obviously shouts over to get the team talking. The 6 for Erith Town has got the armband on. He's the captain this evening. The thumbs up, the traditional thumbs up from the referees taking place. Now a quick count. The watch is being checked and the whistle is about to blow. Just after we check to make sure the goalkeepers are okay. Nice little thumbs up there to the linos. away we go. We will, as always, check in when things happen. Couple of minutes into the game here now, and we have a free kick to Erith Town on the left hand side. James Dyer just being clipped just on the edge of the box, just on the corner of the penalty area. Not exactly the cleanest of fouls, went down in a bit of a heat. Poor James Dyer, poor lad. Landed quite flat on his back there, but he's up there and he seems okay. The referee's just marched back the wall, so we'll see where this one goes. It's been a good start by Erith so far. They're actually moving the ball around really swiftly, really nicely. Free kick comes in. Just not enough on it. There was a little try to get a little nick in the 6-yard box from the 11 there, but the keeper just keeps hold of it. Still 0-0 at the moment. Obviously we're only a couple of minutes in. Not normally goals this early in games, obviously that can happen, but it's it's quite impressive from Erith so far. We're only about sort of 5 minutes in. They're nipping the ball around quite nicely, again looking to play it out from the back. There's been a few of those round the corner sort of passes, if you will, the FIFA generation will know too well, and it's a nice little atmosphere tonight. It's all going really nicely as a club overall. And one thing I have to say, compared to the leisure centre that we visited a couple of times last year, you feel a lot closer to the pitch. We're in the main stand of Bayliss Avenue, the Stanmore Stadium, so you feel a lot closer to the pitch. I know Adam Woodward said that it had the advantages of the leisure centre having the track around the outside, but no, this is really nice. The weather's nice, you can sort of sit here and just enjoy the football. You're close enough that you can hear the tactics, you can hear the ideas, you feel like you're part of the game. And I can certainly, even though we are the official podcast, so you'd think it's our job to get more people in, but it's not just the podcast that needs to do this. I mean, it's the ground that does it as well. So it's a beautiful stadium. When it's all ready for the Skeffel season, there are not many divisions that will have a stadium like this. That's for sure. And it's certainly a selling point for Erith Town, for its players and its supporters. So yeah, very much enjoying it so far. We're a few minutes in. And it's currently 1-0 to Erith Town. Some lovely football there on the right hand side. It all starts with James Dyer on the left, who plays it inside. The ball gets sprayed out wide, ball played up the line. Player runs down the right hand flank, knocks it inside for a simple tapping past the Tooting Mitcham goalkeeper. In truth, it has been coming, in the sense that Erith have been the better side for me. They've been a little bit more camped in the Tooting Mitcham half compared to their opposition. The opposition so far really just having a corner, but again straight away they've just scored. You can hear JJ there shout and get back into shape. No complacency. It's a pre-season friendly, but they know what they want. Really good stuff so far. We've got a couple of visitors from down the road, a couple of Erith and Belvedere fans behind the goal. We'll have a chat with them at half time just to see what they think of Bayliss Avenue compared with other grounds they've been to, because I think they're little ground hoppers, and obviously just what they think of Erith Town's chances in Skeffel Premier League season. But back to the game and the moment we just had, really nice stuff there. Erith showing their class again, zipping that ball around really quite nicely. A good high tempo played, and a very deserved 1-0. We'll stay with it now because Tooting Mitcham have just got the ball from a stray pass. They're looking to play it out wide, but again they all know where to go. James Dyer there goes to commit but knows where to stand off. It's quite refreshing to watch from Erith Town. This is a good standard they're playing at the moment. I know again we're only 10-15 minutes into the game, but you can't knock what they're doing so far. It weren't a lucky goal, it was a deserved goal. The defence are holding well, and just then a really nice long ball's just been played over the top. Again, back in sort of some other sort of non-league levels, you might see that ball headed clear or even hoofed clear, but the defender, he literally just cushions it into the path of the midfield and it breaks again, all from a ball over the top with some pressure being added. Brilliant stuff so far from Erith Town, really impressed. Erith Town again come really close, turning the screw. They appeal for a free kick earlier on where a cross gets blocked by a defender's arm, goes out for a throw. They regain possession, win the ball again nicely, as I just said there. They knock the ball around a couple of times. James Dyer drops his shoulder, defender buys it, pushes the ball out of the left side of the outside of his left foot and just hits it over the bar for a goal kick. Really good football again from Erith Town here, and it's like I just said a moment ago, it's a good pace. They're knocking it around nicely, good tempo. It's good football to watch, and again, you don't want to get carried away in pre-season when you lose games. Ideally, you don't want to get carried away in pre-season when you win games. But with Tooting Mitcham, they finished towards the bottom of the Isthmian League last year. So again, it was a decent standard they were playing. Let's not take anything away from them. And the standard they're playing now is the equivalent, but obviously just a bit sort of round the London M25 type area around the South Circular. So you'd think this is quite a well matched on paper, level for level, but really showing their class here with Town here, and certainly there will be more goals if it continues like this. But again, I've said that before in games where I've said there'll be more goals and it ended 1-0. So we will see how it goes. Up the Dockers. Erith Town double the lead and make it 2-0, and straight after the goal and a little celebration, they're right back in position again, just really taking no prisoners, and you can see now why they deservedly are 2-0 to the good against Tooting Mitcham. Some nice football again being played. Just talking to some of the people here who are some of the volunteers and the backroom staff here at Erith Town, and they're really impressed as well. The ball's being played out wide, there's a lot of width, it's quick, it's 1-2 touch at times. Adam Woodward, you can hear in the background there, like a winger from Tooting Mitcham's got the ball, bang the fullbacks there on the overlap to win the ball back. James Dyer drops back in position. Milo's being called to sort of get back and get involved as well. The goalkeeper, everyone's playing a part today, and it's really good to see. A few moments ago, a long ball was played over the top and it had the back line beat. It wasn't about nice fault, they held it quite nicely, but it's just one of those balls that just catches them a little bit off guard. But the goalkeeper reads the trouble straight out. The striker's got no chance of getting on the end of it. Really good. And when you say disciplined, you don't mean disciplined in the sort of old-fashioned sense of a kind of like an Alex Ferguson team or like those Chelsea of old where it's disciplined, 1-0, sit on it. This is really disciplined in the sense that Erith Town obviously have had their instruction from Adam Woodward what they need to do. They're going out, they're doing it. It's exciting to watch. It's wide width attacking football, which is what you want to come and see. And I'll be honest with you, at the moment you can't really say enough good things about it. I mean, there's a low-flying plane. A lot of people would say, dear listener, that is because City Airport isn't around the corner, but we know better. They want to watch the action. Clearly, flight path delayed and off route, just so we can watch the Dock. 2-0 to Erith Town, up the Dockers. Another thing to comment on this game, which is good to see, and again being as close to the pitches, I know I touched on it earlier, but it's all the communication you can hear, it's the talking, and all of the talking from Erith Town has been positive, it's been constructive, there's been no moaning at each other. Caught a ball, nearly hit me. Good catch, that nearly done me then, I nearly lost my phone. Well done. Sign him up. Goalkeeper in front of us there, if he's still debating a career. But no, it's just the talking's really positive all over the pitch, and it's it's instructive talking as well, which again I know sounds really stupid, but it's what you don't normally hear too much in the game. All this calling tends to be like mine or man on, all that kind of stuff, or people just moaning at each other, but you can hear it there. You can hear like switching the play and what to do and pushing on and all that kind of stuff, and the communication is really good as well. But again, it's a positive performance. It's going to lead to some positive talking and some positive communication as we stay there. A quick throw just taken down the line by the free. The cross about to come in to the near post, and just that for a corner there from Tooting Mitcham. Millwall fan indeed, I am, for my sins. Was it the gilet that gave it away? So I'm with Brian and James, and I've just overheard their conversation and I'm eavesdropping. It's terrible what we do here on the Dockers debate, but this is Brian's first time watching Erith Town here. We need to get that asterisk in because he's been here before. He's quick to tell me. And James, it's your first time at this ground altogether. What brings you to the Stanmore Stadium?
Well, for myself, I'm a kind of a long-term Erith Town fan. Been going to matches back at the Erith Stadium for several seasons, and so I wanted to come along and check out this new ground and check out the team that's been put together for next season. So
and also have a cameo on the podcast, clearly.
Of course, that's I've been trying to get your attention, and it's clearly succeeded this evening.
Yeah, the stones on the side of the head were noticed. Thank you.
But that's why I'm here.
Yeah. So, how does this compare to the Leisure Centre for you?
It compares really well in lots of ways. It's a much better pitch, I think, for a start. This seating area is really good. It's tiered. It's a much better tier. You've got a much better view of the game on a much better pitch. Closer as well, because there was a running track back at Erith Stadium. So it seems to be, so far, I haven't checked out the bar yet. I think that could be a real deal breaker for me.
That could be.
But so far, it's really good. It compares really well.
Excellent. And James, what about you? What do you think of the place, the new home, if you will?
Yeah, I think it's great. Yeah, as Brian said, really good view of the pitch. Sun setting in the corner, so it's a nice evening to be here. And I think the football's been pretty good so far this half as well.
Yeah, romantic, if you will. You could bring a partner.
Yeah, well, absolutely, yeah.
Absolutely. And at times you could be the only one who scores here, depending on how it goes. You never know.
But not tonight.
Well, absolutely. The Dockers 2 goals to the bet. So what do we think of the game so far compared to previous seasons? I mean, I personally, I've been covering and watching here for a couple of years now. I think that this pre-season, especially the way they've been knocking the ball around at the back and playing it wide and a lot of width play is very not that they were a bad side in the first place, don't get me wrong, but it's very refreshing, don't you think?
Well, this is the first time I've been on to pre-season friendly for this forthcoming season, so I can only comment on what I've seen so far. And yeah, really impressed with Erith, doing really well, playing very skillfully, and as you say, spreading the ball around. And ahead in the match as well. So that's encouraging.
Without trying to be too running away and getting to ahead of myself, if you will, James. I think that 2-0 is actually quite flattering for Tooting Mitcham at the moment in the nicest way.
Absolutely, I think the Dockers' work rate's been really good, and you can see there have been a few really good deliveries, like you say, getting out wide. A lot of pace all over the field, and they've been work rate's been good, and I think the ability has kind of shone through.
So you were saying about the sort of fitness as well. That great save by the goalkeeper. Moved down the right hand side by Tooting Mitcham across goal, and the goalkeeper really gets down well to save. But the fullback there, the free for Erith Town, he's been up and down this flank all half so far, hasn't he? And I mean, I think he got slightly caught out there, but he got back well to recover, put the pressure on, and I think it's going to be a promising season for Erith Town.
I agree. Really looking forward to it. Obviously, we did very well last season, and I'm anticipating a really great season. I think being in this round as well will help. Also with the pitch next door, I think that brings the whole club together, so I understand it, and so I think just the whole atmosphere around this club is going to improve thanks to this new location, and I will be here many times and cheering them on to great success. And
I believe the Dockers Debate logo is booked in at the nearest tattoo parlour for you, Brian. You're a fan.
For sure.
2-0 to Erith Town, up the Dockers. And we're in the second half now, where the Erith Town are still 2-0 up. Good start to the second half again. Milo again has just beat the offside trap, tried to beat the goalkeeper, but unfortunately his pulled back shot is cleared off the goal line, and then James Dyer again looking dangerous just on the outside of the box there, looks up, sees the top corner free, tries to curl it in, and it just goes agonisingly wide, which you hear people gasping at. Is gasping a good word?
Gasping is a good word, is anything.
A good word. What do you think of the first half so far? I'm here with a webmaster. Do we give a name, or is it like the Games Master back in the 90s where you're just a big floating head and no one knows who your name is? It's not Patrick Stewart, by the way.
Rob.
Rob, there we are. Just Rob. GDPR reasons. You don't have to have surname, therefore we can play him.
I thought the first half was good. I thought there was a couple of good goals. Milo played really well. He needs to keep himself on the edge of the box over corners and things, because he's got the best long-range shot we've got. So, but I think we're looking good. And there's a couple of players from the under-18s who've made their way through, really showing their form.
Erith Town now just playing some one-touch football. Ball goes down the right-hand side and just headed, and it goes out.
Alex Melkonian needs to grow another 3 or 4 inches before he starts going for headers.
Just slightly. It goes out for a goal kick, but even then, as we were just saying about some of the football in the first half, some of the stuff there, some really nice. What was that? But I'd say the ball just showed about 90 yards, and it was just one-touch football between about 4 or 5 players. It's good first half, a good start to the second half. Do we get carried away, Rob, the webmaster, and say if we play like that this season it's going to be exciting? Do we get carried away?
Yeah, why not? What's the point of coming if you're not going to get carried away?
Too right. We like that too. Even the most negative man would be a cup half full with this, wouldn't he?
Yeah, exactly.
Pessimism.
And what I love about them is I love when you've got young players and they're not afraid to do the back heels and do the back flips and generally show that they've got a bit of talent in there. It's not all like simple sideways passes.
Yeah, exactly.
To go forward.
And like you say there as well, even if they're trying the flicky stuff, if it don't work, it's not affecting the game.
Exactly. You know, they're not head down on that. They're just, that didn't work, I'll try it again next time.
Yeah, and that's what you want. That's what you want. 2-0 to Erith Town. Erith Town again showing their dominance. I think you could say the second half may not have the speed and the tempo of the first, but they've still got the discipline and the sort of movement when it comes to off the ball that you had in the first half. I think they've done a great job here of Town. They've contained Tooting Mitcham really, really nicely, and I think ball down the left hand side, played back across. Unfortunate heavy touch there, but they've not been under any real trouble, have they, Erith Town?
No, I think they're dominating. I think man of the match so far is going to be the Mitcham keeper, because he's the only one keeping him in the game at the moment. I think Erith Town totally dominant, keeping the ball well, moving it about well, corner after corner, chance after chance. Just need their keeper to
more corners than a Muller factory, won't we say?
Absolutely.
Will this be the cream on the yoghurt that gets swung in out to the far post? JJ's just tried a nice little step over there, back over to James Dyer. The assistant flag goes up. There's been a few gaps in play, so we'll have another little check with the webmaster. So how we think the rest of this half's gone so far. There's a little bit of huff and puff, isn't there? But not many doors being blown in.
Yeah, right now it just seems like everything's just gone a little bit flat. There's a lot of, like you say, huffing and puffing and nothing much else happening. I think the number of substitutions doesn't help, because then what happens is the rhythm goes, and but also I think the substitutions that Tooting Mitcham have made have given them a little bit of impetus, and they're beginning to take the ball to Erith Town a bit more. So we'll see what happens. I'm still confident that Erith Town will see this out. I'm not entirely confident we'll see another goal.
One thing I know you said there about the substitutions, but again, as we say, as Adam has said over the past few weeks, it's pre-season, it's minutes in legs.
Absolutely, minutes in legs.
And it's 3-0 now to Erith Town. Some really, really nice football again there. Do you know what as well? Full credit to the ref. Refs don't get much applause, shall we say, but the ball was basically played to the ref. It's hit the ref. The ref went to blow the whistle to say it's hit me. Whoops, I was in the way. That's what that whistle means, Rob. But he saw it went to an Erith Town player, played on. The ball was played down the right hand side, cut in nicely, shot. Keeper got down again. To be fair to the Tooting Mitcham keeper, he got down really well to save that. But there was too much on it, too much spin. He couldn't really hold it. Pushed into the path of Erith Town to make it 3-0. I think that's a pretty fair assessment of the goal there.
I can't add anything to that.
Absolutely not. There was no big toe blocking the way. You could have added that.
No. Big thumb this time, but not big enough.
Not big enough thumb. It's like, those foam fingers you get, dear listener, at events. If he would have had one of them gloves, he might have kept it out. 3-0, but no, it's fair play to the goalkeeper. You said it earlier on, but he is having a good game. I know it sounds silly when you're 3-0 down, but let's be honest with you, the way this game's going so far, about that goalkeeper and back line, you're looking at it could have been, 6-7?
Easily.
And I'll tell you what, it took me a while to get my phone out. The cheers have died down, but that is absolutely strike of the night for me so far. A fantastic finish from 25 yards out?
25 yards
easily. 4-0 now to Erith Town, and Ibra style that was, wasn't it?
Yeah, Ibra would have been pleased with that one.
Yeah.
Ibra would have ridden home and told his mum about that one.
No, absolutely. Maybe that might have gone a bit far, but hey ho. But no, just to describe the goal there, a ball's played in just about 25-30 yards out. That's not even an exaggeration.
No.
It's really, really not. He looks up, sees the keeper. Do you know what? The keeper wasn't even off his line. He just thought, do you know what? I'm going to give this a go. Left foot absolutely pings it into the bottom corner, and it's so sweet. Do you know what? It was one of those, the way the keeper sort of dived, I thought it might have been. That was close from Tooting Mitcham. I thought it might have been going wide, but the way the new red and black net rippled in front of the Erith and Belvedere fans at the back.
I think it took took their keeper by surprise. I just don't think he thought it was going to have the legs on it that it did.
Yeah, but it was
scraped into the corner.
It was a really, really nicely placed finish with power. 25 yards out. Erith Town 4-0 up. And I think, Rob, that may have just confirmed the fixture.
I think so.
Erith Town 5, Tooting Mitcham 0. A really, again, nicely worked move on the left-hand side. Ball played across the middle, opened up the body nicely and just dinked into the top corner. Erith Town worthy winners tonight. Can't really be that much longer left, surely. 9:15.
And there's no coming back from 5.
Well, stranger things have happened in football, haven't they? let's not get too carried away. I mean, with the luck Erith Town have had over the last few years, you never know. But no, I think, I said from the opening sort of 5-10 minutes of the first half that Erith Town looked good. They look a team very much in control. We've said repeatedly through the show tonight, and I think worthy winners. And I believe there's a Skeffel Talk Twitter page. If you're listening, Skeffel Talk, you've got your shout out. They predicted the Dockers would be second this season behind Faversham.
Really? See.
I'm just the messenger.
Okay.
Don't shoot the carrier pigeon.
Fair enough. I think the Dockers are in with a shout going all the way to the top this season.
I tell you what, with the recruitment that's been done, like you say, with the fitness levels that we've seen tonight, there's no reason they can't.
This is a pre-season friendly, and they are on it. They are definitely on it. So, and there's players out there with a point to prove after last season. So as long as they can keep up the intensity and not fall asleep in the last 10 minutes and give away a goal, because a clean sheet is always nice to have. I think we're in with a shout of doing it this season.
Yeah, do you know what? It's very much. If you look at Erith and Belvedere, I know they sort of fell away a little bit and just basically managed to get over the line probably later on than they wanted to. But it is the start, isn't it, really? At these levels, you have to have a really, really good start. Phoenix last season, yes, they ended up getting promoted, but they had a poor start, and I think that's why they ended up being second, really, because they only really got in their momentum probably too late, considering the start Erith and Belvedere had. But I think with Erith Town, as you say, if you can go into pre-season with this confidence, this togetherness, there's a real togetherness about the squad, isn't there?
There is, absolutely, and I think you're right. I think what you need is that momentum at the beginning of the game, at the beginning of the season. You need to be able to get results, and if you can put a gap between yourself and the chasing pack, you know that as the season rolls on, you're going to inevitably have some injuries. You're going to slow down. You're going to have a
dip in form,
a little dip in form, and things are not going to quite go your way. But if you've built up the momentum and you've built up that little gap between yourself and the chasing pack, like I said at the beginning of the season, you can weather that storm. And then as you pick up momentum again going on, keep going.
Yeah, keep going. And to be honest as well, these divisions, they're unforgiving, aren't they? Because there's so many cup competitions as well. That even if you don't even have an night of cup competitions, and you want to go out in the first round. Not that anyone wants to go out, but you know when you think I don't really fancy a cup run, you're still in about 5 or 6 cup competitions, aren't you? Like youth cups and
there's youth cups, senior trophy,
prelim FA cups, all that kind of thing.
Extra prelims, there's loads of it. There's literally tons of it, and it's always nice to have a good cup run. But if you end up having 2 or 3 good cup runs, you end up playing 70, 80 games by the end of the season. Yeah,
exactly. So Adam's now just got the team round in the circle to do his team talk. It's going to be positive, isn't it?
It's got to be. 5-0, there's no way you can complain about that. We had good shape for most of the game. We had dominated possession, lots of really good passing, lots of good interplay. There's really nothing to moan about as far as I can make out. Of course, we're talking about Woody here, so so he'll find something. But on the whole, you've got to be positive about a result like this.
Yeah, 5-0 it finishes. You heard the final whistle a moment ago. Very, very convincing win for the Dockers. Until next time, dear listener, I'm going to sign out, but I'll probably have a chat with Woody shortly. He loves a media appearance.
Of course.
But wouldn't you after that?
Absolutely.
But it's and then we look to Welling on Friday night. Adam, Dockers debate post-match. Got to be happy with that, haven't we?
Yeah, listen, it was a good. Thanks for standing aside, Dan. Yeah, it was a good win, good test. I think we created 26 opportunities, something like 14, 15 shots on target. I think we should still need to be a little bit more ruthless, but yeah, it was comfortable win, and the boys done really well.
Do you know what? Sitting up there, talking to some people up there, another good attendance for pre-season, especially Tuesday
Over 100
night.
again, I think. It's barely been advertised, which is really good.
Yeah, it was the last minute one on the calendar. But I agree with what you're saying about being more ruthless. But it was just such. I think you've also got to take your hat off to the Tooting Mitcham defence and goalkeeper. They've had good games.
That was really good. I thought the goalkeeper was probably both half man of the match. Really, I thought that was really good. But no, look, we just got to make sure we tidy things up. Again, it's another 90 minutes for certain people. Taz's first game he's played pre-season. He's come on, scored 2. I thought Walters at right back was exceptional. Really, really good. Obviously, we was missing a few tonight. No Joe Chalker, no Jamie Humphreys, no Ollie Milton, no Ryan Mahal. Obviously, Harry Taylor as well. So there's 5 out there. But no, it was positive. It was good for Walters, 16-year-old. He's played 90 minutes. Thought he was exceptional. Rowan come on again, I thought was really, really good on the ball. And obviously Riley as well came on at centre half, which was good. So look, it's positive. It's not quite there yet, but we're getting there.
Your whip play was excellent tonight. I thought the way the transition from the defence to up front was good. The way you played the ball down the wing, one-touch stuff round the corner, flicky, tricky stuff that you can try in pre-season is coming off. Anything I've missed there?
No, I thought you're right. I thought we got some very creative players, and they've just got to keep doing that, moving the ball well as much as they can, getting hold of the ball, and like I said, keeping the ball in tight areas. And yeah, we can do that. I just think we need to tidy it up a little bit. First half we had a lot of touches. Second half we cut the touches down. It was much better.
I think as well, even though in the second half the tempo of the game did die down slightly, but it's going to happen pre-season, especially when you're a few goals up. But it was never really under any real pressure from Tooting Mitcham. They're a good side. Yes, they came down from the Isthmian last season, but the combined counties is obviously the equivalent to Skeffel. You've got to be going into the Whitstable game if everyone's obviously fresh and ready to go in the squad, quietly confident.
Yeah, listen, we'll go down to it. So we've got tough 2 first games, obviously. Whitstable and Lydd will be tough, in between an FA Cup game squeezed in there somewhere. But no, Marcel has a good side. They have a certain way of plan, and we've got to go down and make sure we perform on the day. And it'd be very difficult. We've got some good quality, and they're one of the favourites to be up there at the end of the season. So yeah, we'll go down and we'll do what we can first game of the season.
Anything for the listeners and other people who's here today?
No, just hopefully, obviously. I enjoyed it and keep coming back. Like I said, it's a nice game under the lights. Pitch played a bit slow. It needs a little bit more water on it. But yeah, no, it was good. We've just got to sharpen up a little bit.
No problem. Thanks, Adam.
Cheers.